Congratulations to the longest serving leader in the history of the United States Senate, Mitch McConnell. Where are you, Mitch?
This ought to be fun.
Congratulations to Chuck Schumer, another term as Senate Minority Leader. I think this time you have a slightly bigger majority, Mr. Leader, and you're the majority leader. About that much bigger? Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I want to give special recognition to someone who I think is going to be considered the greatest speaker in the history of the House, Representative Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, we're gonna break down the truths and lies. Believe that.
Folks, the story of America is a story of progress and resilience, of always moving forward, of never ever giving up. It's a story unique among all nations. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Look, folks, that's what we're doing again. 2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here tonight after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs. More jobs created in 2 years than any president's created in 4 years because of you all, because of the American people.
All right.
2 years ago,
he's not lying, but he's not telling the full
2
truth.
years ago, COVID had shut down, our businesses were closed, our schools were robbed of so much. And today, COVID no longer controls our lives. And 2 years ago, democracy faced its greatest threats of civil war. And today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken. As we gather here tonight, we're writing the next chapter in the great American story, a story of progress and resilience. When world leaders ask me to define America, and they do, believe it or not, I can define it in one word, and I mean this: possibilities. We don't think anything is beyond our capacity. Everything is a possibility. We're often told that Democrats and Republicans can't work together. But over the past 2 years, we've proved the cynics and naysayers wrong. Yes, we disagree plenty. And yes, there were times that Democrats went alone. But time and again, Democrats and Republicans came together to defend a stronger and safer Europe. It came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure law, building bridges connecting our nation and our people. We came together to pass the most significant law ever, helping victims exposed to toxic burn pits. And in fact, it's important. In fact, I signed over 300 bipartisan pieces of legislation since becoming president. From reauthorizing the Violence Against Women Act, the Electoral Count Reform Act, the Respect for Marriage Act that protects the right to marry the person you love. And to my Republican friends, if we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well. I think folks, you all are as informed as I am, but I think the people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting, power for the sake of power, conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. That's always been my vision of our country, and I know it's many of yours. To restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the backbone of America, America's middle class, and to unite the country. We've been sent here to finish the job, in my view. For decades, the middle class has been hollowed out. And not one administration, but for a long time. Too many good paying manufacturing jobs move overseas. Factories closed down. Once thriving cities and towns that many of you represent became shadows of what they used to be. And along the way, something else we lost: pride, our sense of self-worth. I ran for president to fundamentally change things, to make sure our economy works for everyone, so we can all feel that pride in what we do. To build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because when the middle class does well, the poor have a better up, and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well.
What was the bailout about there?
I know a lot of you always kid me for always quoting my dad, but my dad used to say, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck. He really would say this. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. Well, folks, so let's look at the results. We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low.
Because we're replacing, but all right.
Near record unemployment. Near record unemployment for Black and Hispanic workers. We've already created, through help, 800,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs, the fastest growth in 40 years. And where is it written? Where is it written that America can't lead the world in manufacturing? And I don't know where that's written. For too many decades, we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Folks, inflation has been a global problem because the pandemic disrupted our supply chains, and Putin's unfair and brutal war in Ukraine disrupted energy supplies as well as food supplies, blocking all that grain in Ukraine. But we're better positioned than any country on earth right now. But we have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down. Here at home, gas prices are down $1.50 from their peak. Food inflation is coming down, not fast enough, but coming down. Inflation has fallen every month for the last 6 months, while take-home pay has gone up. Additionally, over the last 2 years, a record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses. 10 million. And by the way, every time someone starts a small business is an act of hope. And Madam Vice President, I want to thank you for leading that effort to ensure that small businesses have access to capital and the historic laws we enacted that are going to just come into being. Standing here last year, I shared with you a story of American genius and possibilities. Semiconductors, small computer chips the size of a fingerprint that power everything from cell phones to automobiles and so much more. These chips were invented in America. Let's get that straight. They were invented in America. And we used to make 40% of the world's chips. In the last several decades, we lost our edge. We're down to only producing 10%. We all saw what happened during the pandemic when chip factories shut down overseas. Today's automobiles need 3,000 chips, each of those automobiles. But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up, people got laid off. So did everything from refrigerators to cell phones. We can never let that happen again. That's why we came together to pass the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act. Folks, I know I've been criticized for saying this, but I'm not changing my view. We're going to make sure the supply chain for America begins in America. The supply chain begins in America. We've already created 800,000 new manufacturing jobs without this law, before the law kicks in. With this new law, we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs across the country. And I mean all across the country, throughout not just the coast, but through the middle of the country as well. That's going to come from companies that have announced more than $300 billion in investment in American manufacturing over the next few years. Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams. It's going to create 10,000 jobs, that one investment, 7,000 construction jobs, 3,000 jobs in those factories once they're finished. They call them factories. Jobs paying an average of $130,000 a year, and many do not require a college degree. The jobs, because we work together, these jobs are people don't have to leave home to search for opportunity. It's just getting started. Think about the new homes, the small businesses, the medium-sized businesses. So much more that's going to be needed to support those 3,000 permanent jobs and the factories that are going to be built. Talk to mayors and governors, Democrats and Republicans, and they'll tell you what this means for their communities. We're seeing these field of dreams transform to the heartland. But to maintain the strongest economy in the world, we need the best infrastructure in the world. And folks, as you all know, we used to be #1 in the world in infrastructure. We've sunk to 13th in the world. The United States of America, 13th in the world in infrastructure, modern infrastructure. But now we're coming back because we came together and passed the bipartisan infrastructure law, the largest investment in infrastructure since President Eisenhower's interstate highway system. And folks, already we've funded over 20,000 projects, including major airports from Boston to Atlanta to Portland. Projects that are going to put thousands of people to work rebuilding our highways, our bridges, our railroads, our tunnels, ports, airports, clean water, high-speed internet, all across America. Urban, rural, tribal. And folks, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And I mean it sincerely. I want to thank my Republican friends who voted for the law, and my Republican friends who voted against it as well. But I still get asked to fund the projects in those districts as well. But don't worry. I promised I'd be a president for all Americans. We'll fund these projects. And I'll see you at the groundbreaking. Look, this law will further unite all of America. Projects like Brent Spence Bridge in Kentucky over the Ohio River, built 60 years ago, badly needed repairs, one of the nation's most congested freight routes, carrying $2 billion worth of freight every single day across the Ohio River. And folks, I've been talking about fixing it for decades. $6 billion for this project. Well, Sarah, for 30 years. She told me she's been a proud member of the Iron Workers Local 44, known as the Cowboys in the Sky. The folks who built Cincinnati's skyline. Sarah said she can't wait to be 10 stories above the Ohio River building that new bridge. God bless her. That's pride. And that's what we're also building. We're building back pride. Look, we're also replacing poisonous lead pipes that go into 10 million homes in America. 400,000 school and child care centers. So every child in America can drink the water instead of having permanent damage to their brain. Look, we're making sure that every community in America has access to affordable high-speed internet. No parent should have to drive by McDonald's parking lot to help them do their homework online with their kids, which many thousands are doing across the country. And when we do these projects, now again, I get criticized for this, but I make no excuses for it. We're going to buy American. We're going to buy American. Folks, and it's totally consistent with international trade rules. Buy America has been the law since 1933, but for too long, past administrations, Democrat and Republican, have fought to get around it. Not anymore. Tonight, I'm announcing new standards require all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America. Made in America. I mean it. Lumber, glass, drywall, fiber optic cable. And on my watch, American roads, bridges, American highways are going to be made with American products as well. Folks, my economic plan is about investing in places and people that have been forgotten. So many of you listen to me tonight. I know you feel it. So many of you felt like you've just simply been forgotten. Amid the economic upheaval of the past 4 decades, too many people have been left behind and treated like they're invisible. Maybe that's you watching from home. Remember the jobs that went away. You remember them, don't you? The folks at home remember them. You wonder whether the path even exists anymore for your children to get ahead without having to move away. Well, that's why I get that. That's why we're building an economy where no one's left behind. Jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back because choices we made in the last several years. You know, this is, in my view, a blue-collar blueprint to rebuild America and make a real difference in your lives at home. For example, too many of you lay in bed at night like my dad did, staring at the ceiling, wondering what in God's name happens if your spouse gets cancer, or your child gets deadly ill, or something happens to you. What are you going to have money to pay for those medical bills? Or you're going to have to sell the house or try to get a second mortgage on it. I get it. I get it. With the Inflation Reduction Act that I signed into law, we're taking on powerful interests to bring healthcare costs down so you can sleep better at night with more security. You know, we pay more for prescription drugs than any nation in the world. Let me say it again. We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth. For example, 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes. Many of you in this chamber do, in the audience. But every day, millions need insulin to control their diabetes so they can literally stay alive. Insulin's been around for over 100 years. The guy who invented it didn't even patent it because he wanted it to be available for everyone. It cost the drug companies roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin. Packaging and all, you may get up to $13. But Big Pharma has been unfairly charging people hundreds of dollars, $400 to $500 a month, making record profits. Not anymore. Not anymore. So many things that we did are only now coming to fruition. We said we were doing this and we said we passed the law to do it, but people didn't know because the law didn't take effect until January 1 of this year. We capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicare. People are just finding out. I'm sure you're getting the same calls I'm getting. Look, there are millions of other Americans who do not or are not on Medicare, including 200,000 young people with type 1 diabetes and need this insulin to stay alive. Let's finish the job. This time, let's cap the cost of insulin for everybody. This law also caps and won't even affect from 2025. It costs out-of-pocket drug costs $35 and a maximum of $2,000 a year. You don't pay more than $2,000 no matter how much your drug costs are. Because you know why? You all know many of you might have cancer. $15,000 for the cancer drugs. If drug prices rise faster than inflation, drug companies are going to have to pay Medicare back the difference. And finally,
One second, y'all.
it cuts the federal deficit by billions of dollars. Guess what? Instead of paying $400 or $500 a month, you're paying $15. That's a lot of.
People keep on calling my phone.
Savings for the federal government. And by the way, why would we want that? The Inflation Reduction Act.
Hold on.
As my coach. That's okay. That's fair. As my football coach used to say, lots of luck in your senior year. I'm pleased to say that more Americans have health insurance now than ever in history. A record 16 million people are enrolled in the Affordable Care Act. In fact, thanks to the law I signed last year, saving millions are saving $800 a year on their premiums. And by the way, that law was written and the benefit expires in 2025. So my plea to some of you, at least in this audience, let's finish the job and make these savings permanent. Expand coverage of Medicaid. Look, the Inflation Reduction Act is also the most significant investment ever in climate change. Ever. Lower utility bills, creating American jobs, leading the world to a clean energy future. I visited the devastating aftermath of record floods, droughts, storms, and wildfires from Arizona to Mexico to all the way up to the Canadian border. More timber has been burned, as I've observed from helicopters, than the entire state of Missouri. And we don't have global warming? Not a problem. In addition to emergency recovery, from Puerto Rico to Florida to Idaho, we're rebuilding for the long term. New electric grids that are able to weather major storms and not prevent those forest fires. Roads and water systems withstand the next big flood. Clean energy to cut pollution and create jobs in communities often left behind. We're going to build 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations installed across the country by tens of thousands of IBW workers. And we're helping families save more than $1,000 a year with tax credits to purchase electric vehicles and efficient appliances, energy efficient appliances. Historic conservation efforts to be responsible stewards of our land. Let's face reality. The climate crisis doesn't care if you're in a red or blue state. It's an existential threat. We have an obligation, not to ourselves, but to our children and grandchildren, to confront it. I'm proud of how America at last is stepping up to the challenge. We're still going to need oil and gas for a while. But guess what? No, we do. But there's so much more to do. We got to finish the job. And we pay for these investments in our future by finally making the wealthiest and biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share. Just begin. Look, I'm a capitalist. But pay your fair share. I think a lot of you at home agree with me and many people that you know the tax system is not fair. It is not fair. Look, the idea that in 2020, 55 of the largest corporations in America, the Fortune 500, made $40 billion in profits and paid zero in federal taxes? Zero? Folks, simply not fair. But now, because of the law I signed, billion-dollar companies have to pay a minimum of 15%. God love them. 15%. That's less than the rest pays. And I need to be crystal clear. I said at the very beginning, under my plans, as long as I'm president, nobody earning less than $400,000 will pay an additional penny in taxes. Nobody, not one penny. But let's finish the job. There's more to do. We have to reward work, not just wealth. Pass my proposal for the billionaire minimum tax. You know, there's 1,000 billionaires in America. It's up from about 600 in the beginning of the term. But no billionaire should be paying a lower tax rate than a school teacher or firefighter. I mean, think about it. I mean, look. I know you aren't enthusiastic about that, but think about it. Think about it. Have you noticed Big Oil just reported its profits, record profits? Last year they made $200 billion in the midst of a global energy crisis. I think it's outrageous. Why? They invested too little of that profit to increase domestic production. And when I talked to a couple of them, they said, we're afraid you're going to shut down all the oil wells, all the oil refineries anyway, so why should we invest in them? I said, we're going to need oil for at least another decade. And that's going to exceed and beyond that. We're going to need it. Production. If they had, in fact, invested in the production to keep gas prices down, instead, they used the record profits to buy back their own stock, rewarding the CEOs and shareholders. Corporations ought to do the right thing. That's why I propose we quadruple the tax on corporate stock buybacks and encourage long-term investments. They'll still make considerable profit. Let's finish the job and close the loophole to allow very wealthy to avoid paying their taxes. Instead of cutting the number of audits for wealthy taxpayers, I just signed a law to reduce the deficit by $114 billion by cracking down on wealthy tax cheats. That's being fiscally responsible. In the last 2 years, my administration has cut the deficit by more than $1.7 trillion. The largest deficit reduction in American history. Under the previous administration, the American deficit went up 4 years in a row. Because those record deficits, no president added more to the national debt in any 4 years than my predecessor. Nearly 25% of the entire national debt that took over 200 years to accumulate was added by just one administration alone, the last one. They're the facts. Check it out.
That's true. It is true.
Check it out.
It is true.
Congress responded to that debt. They did the right thing. They lifted the debt ceiling, an economic disaster to the country. So tonight I'm asking the Congress to follow suit. Let's get here tonight to the full President of the United States of America will never, ever be questioned. So some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plans. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. That means Congress doesn't. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion. You know, it means if Congress doesn't keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is that we're not going to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't respond. Folks, as we all apparently agree, Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be spent. All right. We got unanimity. Social Security and Medicare are a lifeline for millions of seniors. Americans have to pay into them from the very first paycheck they start. So tonight, let's all agree, and we apparently are, let's stand up for seniors. Stand up and show them. We will not cut Social Security. We will not cut Medicare. Those benefits belong to the American people. They earned it. And if anyone tries to cut Social Security, which apparently no one's going to do,
it's never going to happen.
If anyone tries to cut Medicare, I'll stop them. I'll veto it. And look, I'm not going to allow them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem. Next month, when I offer my fiscal plan, I ask my Republican friends to lay down their plan as well. I really mean it. Let's sit down together and discuss our mutual plans together. Let's do that. I can tell you, the plan I'm going to show you is going to cut the deficit by another $2 trillion. And it won't cut a single bit of Medicare or Social Security. In fact, we're going to extend the Medicare Trust Fund at least 2 decades, because that's going to be the next argument. How do we keep it solvent, right? Well, we'll not raise tax on anyone making under 400 grand, but we'll pay for it the way we talked about tonight, by making sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share. Look. Here's the deal. They aren't just taking advantage of the tax code. They're taking advantage of you, the American consumer. Here's my message to all of you out there. I have your back. We're already preventing Americans from receiving surprise medical bills, stopping $1 billion surprise bills per month so far. We're protecting seniors' life savings by cracking down on nursing homes that commit fraud, endanger patient safety, prescribe drugs that are not needed. Millions of Americans can now save thousands of dollars because they can finally get a hearing aid over the counter without a prescription. Look, capitalism without competition is not capitalism. It's extortion. It's exploitation. Last year, I cracked down with the help of many of you on foreign shipping companies that were making you pay higher prices for every good coming into the country. I signed a bipartisan bill to cut shipping costs by 90%, helping American farmers, businessmen, and consumers. Let's finish the job. Pass the bipartisan legislation to strengthen antitrust enforcement and prevent big online platforms from giving their own products an unfair advantage. My administration is also taking on junk fees, those hidden surcharges too many companies use to make you pay more. For example, we're making airlines show you the full ticket price up front, refund your money if your flight is canceled or delayed. We reduced exorbitant bank overdrafts by saving consumers more than $1 billion a year. We're cutting credit card late fees by 75% from $30 to $8. Look, junk fees may not matter to the very wealthy, but they matter to most other folks in homes like the one I grew up in, like many of you did. They add up to hundreds of dollars a month. They make it harder for you to pay your bills or afford that family trip. I know how unfair it feels when a company overcharges you and gets away with it. Not anymore. We've written a bill to stop it all. It's called the Junk Fee Prevention Act. We're going to ban surprise resort fees that hotels charge on your bill. Those fees can cost up to $90 a night at hotels that aren't even resorts. The idea that cable, internet, and cell phone companies can charge you $200 or more if you decide to switch to another provider. Give me a break. We can stop service fees on tickets to concerts and sporting events and make companies disclose all the fees up front. And we'll prohibit airlines from charging $50 round trip for family just to be able to sit together. Baggage fees are bad enough. Airlines can't treat your child like a piece of baggage. Americans are tired of being played for suckers. So pass the Junk Fee Prevention Act so companies stop ripping us off. For too long, workers have been getting stiffed, but not anymore. We're beginning to restore the dignity of work. For example, I should have known this, but I didn't until 2 years ago. 30 million workers have to sign non-compete agreements with the jobs they take. 30 million. So a cashier at a burger place can't walk across town and take the same job at another burger place and make a few bucks more. It just changed. But they just changed it because we exposed it. That was part of the deal. We'll get up. But not anymore. We're banning those agreements so companies have to compete for workers and pay them what they're worth.
Somebody said that's fine. I don't know.
This is bound to get a response from my friends on my left but the right. I'm so sick and tired of companies breaking the law by preventing workers from organizing. Pass the PRO Act, because business have a right. Workers have a right to form a union. And let's guarantee all workers have a living wage. Let's make sure working parents can afford to raise a family with sick days, paid family medical leave, affordable child care. That's going to enable millions of more people to go and stay at work. And let's restore the full child tax credit, which gave tens of millions of parents some breathing room and cut child poverty in half to the lowest level in history. And by the way, when we do all these things, we increase productivity. We increase economic growth. So let's finish the job and give more families access to affordable, quality housing. Let's get seniors who want to stay in their homes the care they need to do so. Let's give more breathing room to millions of family caregivers looking after their loved ones. Pass my plan so we get seniors and people with disabilities the home care and services they need. And support the workers who are doing God's work. These plans are fully paid for and we can afford to do them. Restoring the dignity of work means making education an affordable ticket to the middle class. You know, when we made public education, 12 years of it, universal in the last century, we made the best educated, best paid, we became the best educated, best paid nation in the world. But the rest of the world's caught up. It's caught up. Jill, my wife, who teaches full time, has an expression. I hope I get it right, kid. Any nation that out-educates us is going to outcompete us. Any nation that out-educates is going to outcompete us. Folks, we all know 12 years of education is not enough to win the economic competition of the 21st century. We want to have the best educated workforce. Let's finish the job by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. Studies show that children who go to preschool are nearly 50% more likely to finish high school and go on to earn a 2 or 4 year degree, no matter their background they came from. Let's give public school teachers a raise. We're making progress by reducing student debt, increasing Pell Grants for working and middle class families. Let's finish the job and connect students to career opportunities starting in high school. Provide access to 2 years of community college, the best career training in America, in addition to being a pathway to a 4 year degree. Let's offer every American a path to a good career, whether they go to college or not. Folks, in the midst of the COVID crisis, when schools were closed and we were shutting down everything, let's recognize how far we came in the fight against the pandemic itself. While the virus is not gone, thanks to the resilience of the American people and the ingenuity of medicine, we've broken the COVID grip on us. COVID deaths are down by 90%. We've saved millions of lives and opened up our country. We opened our country back up, and soon we'll end the public health emergency. But that's called a public health emergency. But we'll remember the toll and pain that's never going to go away. More than 1 million Americans lost their lives to COVID. 1 million. Families grieving, children orphaned, empty chairs at the dining room table constantly reminding you that she used to sit there. Remembering them, we remain vigilant. We still need to monitor dozens of variants and support new vaccines and treatments. So Congress needs to fund these efforts and keep America safe. And as we emerge from this crisis stronger, we're also got to double down on prosecuting criminals who stole relief money meant to keep workers and small businesses afloat. Before I came to office, you remember, during that campaign, the big issue was about inspector generals who would protect taxpayers' dollars that were sidelined. They were fired. Many people said we don't need them. And fraud became rampant. Last year, I told you the watchdogs are back. Since then, we recovered billions of taxpayers' dollars. Now let's triple the anti-fraud strike force going after these criminals, double the statute of limitations on these crimes, and crack down on identity fraud by criminal syndicates stealing billions of dollars from the American people. And the data shows that for every dollar we put into fighting fraud, the taxpayers get back at least 10 times as much.
I heard nothing about police before.
It matters. Look, COVID left its scars, like the spike in violent crime in 2020, the first year of the pandemic. We have an obligation to make sure all people are safe. Public safety depends on public trust, as all of us know. But too often that trust is violated. Joining us tonight are the parents of Tyree Nichols.
All right, about to say. Like I said, you didn't get into police.
I had to bury Tyree last week. As many of you personally know, there's no words to describe the heartache or grief of losing a child. But imagine if you lost that child at the hands of the law. Imagine having to worry whether your son or daughter came home from walking down the street, playing in the park, or just driving a car. Most of us in here have never had to have the talk that brown and black parents have had to have with their children. Bo, Hunter, Ashley, my children. I never had to have the talk with them. I never had to tell them.
I should talk with Hunter about that one.
Turn your interior lights on right away. Don't reach for your license. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Imagine having to worry like that every single time your kid got in a car. Here's what Tyree's mother shared with me when I spoke to her. When I asked her how she finds the courage to carry on and speak out. The faith of God, she said her son was, quote, a beautiful soul, and something good will come of this. Imagine how much courage and courage that takes. It's up to us, to all of us. We all want the same thing. Neighborhoods free of violence. Law enforcement who earns the community's trust. Just as every cop, when they pin on that badge in the morning, has a right to be able to go home at night, so does everybody else out there. Our children have a right to come home safely. Equal protection under the law is a covenant we have with each other in America. We know police officers put their lives on the line every single night and day. And we know we ask them in many cases to do too much, to be counselors, social workers, psychologists, responding to drug overdoses, mental health crises, and so much more. In one sense, we ask much too much of them. I know most cops and their families are good, decent, honorable people, the vast majority. But they risk their lives every time they put that shield on. But what happened to Tyree in Memphis happens too often. We have to do better. Give law enforcement the real training they need. Hold them to higher standards. Help them succeed in keeping us safe. We also need more first responders and professionals to address the growing mental health, substance abuse challenges. More resources to reduce violent crime and gun crime. More community intervention programs. More investment in housing, education, and job training. All this can help prevent violence in the first place. When police officers or police departments violate the public trust, they must be held accountable. With the support of the families of victims, civil rights groups, and law enforcement, I signed an executive order for all federal officers, banning chokeholds, restricting no-knock warrants, and other key elements of the George Floyd Act. Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true. Something good must come from this. Something good. And all of us, folks, it's difficult, but it's simple. All of us in this chamber, we need to rise to this moment. We can't turn away. Let's do what we know in our hearts, what we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform. Do something. Do something. That was the plea of parents who lost their children in Uvalde. I met with every one of them. Do something about gun violence. Thank God. Thank God we did. Passing the most sweeping gun safety law in 3 decades. That includes things like that the majority of responsible gun owners already support. Enhanced background checks for 18 to 21 years old. Red flag laws, keeping guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and others. But we know our work is not done. Joining us tonight is Brandon Say, a 26-year-old hero. Brandon put his college dreams on hold to be at his mom's side. His mom's side when she was dying from cancer. And Brandon now works at the dance studio started by his grandparents. And 2 weeks ago, during the Lunar New Year celebrations, he heard the studio door close. He saw a man standing there pointing a semi-automatic pistol at him. He thought he was going to die, but he thought about the people inside. And in that instant, he found the courage to act and wrestle the semi-automatic pistol away from the gunman who had already killed 11 people in another dance studio. 11. He saved lives. It's time we do the same. Ban assault weapons now. Ban them now. Once and for all. I left the fight to do that in 1994. In 10 years, that ban was law, mass shootings went down. After we let it expire in the Republican administration, mass shootings tripled. Let's finish the job and ban these assault weapons. And let's also come together on immigration. Make it a bipartisan issue once again. We now have a record number of personnel working to secure the border, arresting 8,000 human smugglers, seizing over 23,000 pounds of fentanyl in just the last several months. We've launched a new border plan last month. Unlawful migration from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela has come down 97% as a consequence of that. But American border problems won't be fixed until Congress acts. If we don't pass my comprehensive immigration reform, at least pass my plan to provide the equipment and officers to secure the border. And a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, those on temporary status, farm workers, essential workers. Here in the People's House, it's our duty to protect all the people's rights and freedoms. Congress must restore the right and the Congress must restore the right that was taken away in Roe v. Wade and protect Roe v. Wade. Give every woman a constitutional right. The Vice President and I are doing everything to protect access to reproduction, health care, and safeguard patient safety. Well, already more than a dozen states are enforcing extreme abortion bans. Make no mistake about it. If Congress passes a national ban, I will veto it. But let's also pass the Bipartisan Equality Act to ensure LGBTQ Americans, especially transgender young people, can live with safety and dignity. Our strength is not just the example of our power, but the power of our example. Let's remember the world's watching. I spoke in this chamber 1 year ago, just days after Vladimir Putin unleashed his brutal attack against Ukraine. A murderous assault, evoking images of death and destruction Europe suffered in World War II. Putin's invasion has been a test for the ages, a test for America, a test for the world. Would we stand for the most basic of principles? Would we stand for sovereignty? Would we stand for the right of people to live free of tyranny? Would we stand for the defense of democracy? For such defense matters to us because it keeps peace and prevents open season on would-be aggressors that threatens our prosperity. 1 year later, we know the answer. Yes, we would, and we did. We did. And together, we did what America always does at our best. We led. We united NATO. We built a global coalition. We stood against Putin's aggression. We stood with the Ukrainian people. Tonight, we're once again joined by Ukrainian's ambassador to the United States. She represents not just her nation, but the courage of her people. Our ambassador is here, we're uniting our support of your country. Would you stand so we can all take a look at you? Thank you. Because we're going to stand with you as long as it takes. Our nation is working for more freedom, more dignity, more peace, not just in Europe, but everywhere. Before I came to office, the story was about how the People's Republic of China was increasing its power and America was failing in the world. Not anymore. We made clear, and I made clear in my personal conversations, which have been many, with President Xi, that we seek competition, not conflict. But I will make no apologies that we're investing to make America stronger. Investing in American innovation and industries that will define the future that China intends to be dominating. Investing in our alliances and working with our allies to protect advanced technologies so they will not be used against us. Modernizing our military to safeguard stability and deter aggression. Today, we're in the strongest position in decades to compete with China or anyone else in the world. Anyone else in the world. And I'm committed. I'm committed to work with China where we can advance American interests and benefit the world. But make no mistake about it. As we made clear last week, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did. Look, let's be clear. Winning the competition should unite all of us. We face serious challenges across the world. But in the past 2 years, democracies have become stronger, not weaker. Autocracy has grown weaker, not stronger. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one. America's rallying the world to meet those challenges, from climate to global health, to food insecurity, to terrorism, to territorial aggression. Allies are stepping up, spending more, and doing more. Look, the bridges we're forming between partners in the Pacific and those in the Atlantic, and those who bet against America are learning how wrong they are. It's never, ever been a good bet to bet against America. Never. Well, when I came to office, most assured that bipartisanship assumed was impossible, but never believed it. That's why a year ago, I offered a unity agenda to the nation as I stood here. We made real progress together. We passed a law making it easy for doctors to prescribe effective treatments for opioid addiction. We passed the gun safety law, making historic investments in mental health. We launched the ARPA-H drive for breakthrough in the fights against cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes, and so much more. We passed the Heath Robinson PACT Act, named after the late Iraq War veteran whose story about exposure to toxic burn kits I shared here last year. I understand something about those burn pits, but there's so much more to do. We can do it together. Joining us tonight is a father named Doug from Newton, New Hampshire. He wrote Jill, my wife, a letter, and me as well, about his courageous daughter, Courtney. Her contagious laugh, his sister's best friend, her sister's best friend. He shared a story all too familiar to millions of Americans and many of you in the audience. Courtney discovered pills in high school. It spiraled into addiction and eventually death from a fentanyl overdose. She was just 20 years old. Describing the last 8 years without her, Doug said, "There's no worse pain." Yet their family has turned pain to purpose, working to end the stigma and change laws. He told us he wants to start a journey toward American recovery. Doug, we're with you. Fentanyl is killing more than 70,000 Americans a year. You got it. So let's launch a major surge to stop fentanyl production and the sale and trafficking with more drug detection machines, inspection cargo, stop pills and powder at the border. Working with couriers like FedEx to inspect more packages for drugs. Strong penalties to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. Second, let's do more on mental health, especially for our children. When millions of young people are struggling with bullying, violence, trauma, we give them greater access to mental health care at their schools. We must finally hold social media companies accountable for experimenting they're doing running children for profit. It's time to pass bipartisan legislation to stop big tech from collecting personal data on our kids and teenagers online. Ban targeted advertising of children and impose stricter limits on the personal data that companies collect on all of us. Third,
So
let's
what
do more
about
to keep
toys?
this
Like
nation's one truly sacred obligation to equip those we send into harm's way and care for them and their families when they come home. Job training, job placement for veterans and their spouses as they come to return to civilian life. Helping veterans afford the rent, because no one should be homeless in America, especially someone who served the country. Dennis McDonough is here, the VA. We had our first real discussion when I asked him to take the job. I'm glad he did. We were losing up to 25 veterans a day on suicide. Now we're losing 17 a day to the silent scourge of suicide. 17 veterans a day are committing suicide. More than all the people being killed in the wars. Folks, VA is doing everything it can, including expanding mental health screening, proven programs that recruits veterans to help other veterans understand what they're going through, get them the help they need. We got to do more. And fourth, last year, Jill and I reignited the cancer moonshot that I was able to start with President Obama asked me to lead our administration on this issue. Our goal is to cut the cancer death rates at least by 50% in the next 25 years. Turn more cancers from death sentences to treatable diseases. Provide more support for patients and their families. It's personal to so many of us in this audience. Joining us are Morris and Candice, an Irishman and the daughter of immigrants from Panama. They met and fell in love in New York City and got married in the same chapel as Jill and I got married in New York City. Kindred spirits. He wrote us a letter about his little daughter, Ava, and I saw her just before I came over. She was just a year old when she was diagnosed with rare kidney disease, cancer. After 26 blood transfusions, 11 rounds of radiation, 8 rounds of chemo, 1 kidney removed, giving a 5% survival rate. He wrote how in the darkest moments he thought, if she goes, I can't stay. Many of you have been through that as well. Jill, I understand that like so many of you. He read Jill's book describing our family's cancer journey. and how we tried to steal moments of joy where we could with Bo. For them, that glimmer of joy was the half smile of their baby girl. It meant everything to them. They never gave up hope. Little Ava never gave up hope. She turns 4 next month. They just found out Ava's beating the odds, is on her way to being cured of cancer. And she's watching from the White House tonight and she's not asleep already. For the lives we can save. For the lives we can save and the lives we've lost. Let this be a truly American moment that rallies the country and the world together and proves that we can still do big things. 20 years ago, under the leadership of President Bush and countless advocates and champions, he undertook a bipartisan effort through PEPFAR to transform the global fight against HIV/AIDS. It's been a huge success. He thought big. He thought large. He moved. I believe we can do the same thing with cancer. Let's end cancer as we know it. Cure some cancers once and for all. Folks, there's one reason why we've been able to do all of these things. Our democracy itself. It's the most fundamental thing of all. With democracy, everything's possible. Without it, nothing is. The last few years, our democracy has been threatened and attacked, put at risk, put to the test in this very room on January the 6th. And then just a few months ago, an unhinged big lie, assailant unleashed a political violence, the home of the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, using the very same language the insurrectionists used as they stalked these halls and chanted on January 6th. Here tonight in this chamber is a man who bears the scars of that brutal attack, but is as tough and as strong and as resilient as they get. My friend Paul Pelosi. Paul, stand up. But such a heinous act should have never happened. We must all speak out. There's no place for political violence in America. We have to protect the right to vote, not suppress that fundamental right. Honor the results of our elections, not subvert the will of people. We have to uphold the rule of law and restore trust in our institutions of democracy. We must give hate and extremism in any form no safe harbor. Democracy must not be a partisan issue. It's an American issue. Every generation of Americans has faced a moment where they have been called to protect our democracy, defend it, stand up for it. And this is our moment. My fellow Americans, we meet tonight at an inflection point, one of those moments that only a few generations ever face, where the direction we now take is going to decide the course of this nation for decades to come. We're not bystanders of history. We're not powerless before the forces that confront us. It's within our power of we, the people. We're facing the test of our time. We have to be the nation we've always been at our best. Optimistic, hopeful, forward-looking. A nation that embraces light over dark, hope over fear, unity over division, stability over chaos. We have to see each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. We're good people. The only nation in the world built on an idea. The only one. Other nations are defined by geography, ethnicity. But we're the only nation based on an idea that all of us, every one of us, is created equal in the image of God. A nation that stands as a beacon to the world. A nation in a new age of possibilities. So I've come to fulfill my constitutional obligation to report in the State of the Union. And here's my report. Because the soul of this nation is strong, because the backbone of this nation is strong, because the people of this nation are strong, the State of the Union is strong. I'm not new to this place. I stand here tonight, having served as long as about any one of you have ever served here. But I've never been more optimistic about our future, about the future of America. We just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you.
All right. Jeez. We can start the show now. I thought it was important that even though we could talk about so many things that really don't have no effect on us. let's be honest. Me talking about Mobties, Lil Kim, Jay Prince, and everything like that don't really got no effect on your lives. Let's go keep it authentic. It really don't. It's entertainment. It allows us escapism, and we truly want to know what happened to some of y'all favorite member out of a rap group. Don't worry. It's going to get turned up here tonight. Believe that. But I'm going to make mine quick. I jotted some things down because I don't like listening to speeches without jotting things down. Give me 6 seconds real quick. All right. I had to upload a video. So, I got the, yeah. Let's set the record straight real quick. This man said that basically a record 10 million people applied for jobs and new businesses, which essentially he was equating to saying that he created 10 million jobs. The problem with that is that the pandemic took 6.2 million jobs. So in all candor, he really only created 3.8 million jobs. Obama created 8.9 million. Trump created 7 million. So when it comes to the people who put in the work before you, that would be Trump and that would be Obama. So one of the things that he touted that absolutely he should be touting is that we are going back to what? Being the main exporters. Let me give y'all this crazy thing that used to happen with our great-grandparents and grandparents. They used to be the toothbrush makers. They used to be the shoemakers. We exported. That's why our money was so good. Now we're importing a bunch. Now, one of the things that he did not say or do was talk about grants that he would give to small businesses that wanted to join into the manufacturing Buy America. So when you talk about corruption, what type of corruption? It doesn't matter if I buy American, if I can get it shipped over here from China. Doesn't matter. So who's going to get those contracts? Will it be those bigger companies that you claim to despise? Or will it be the mom and pop shops who have capacities to take percentages and get it done? See, what y'all don't know is the majority of millionaires and billionaires have government contracts. That's how you become wealthy in this country. He said 7,000 jobs were created through construction. But he messed up on one big thing. He said that they're basically giving $33,000 a year, which turns into what? $2,700 and $22,750 a month. Can I ask you this simple question? Did he ever say where those jobs were being created? See, if you do construction, you need to be a part of a union. So what he should have said was, we're going to make sure that any construction job created from the federal government will require a union, because if not, you'll be an at-will employee. There is nothing that anybody has done for the American people as a whole that benefited everybody, that has no race in it, than Dwight Eisenhower with creating the modern highway system that we have today. That created so many jobs for 15 years. So you can't compete with Eisenhower, because we see what Eisenhower has done over 50 years ago. Now, one of the things he said, I absolutely don't care how y'all feel about it. Them junk fees and everything like that, bro, man, getting rid of all these hyped up charges from booking.com, from any.com, from all these extra sites and all this crap and everything like that. That's a great idea. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all, ATM fees. Imagine when you were younger, how the banking system absolutely put the screws to you. What they would do is they would say this: you would have something that cost, let's say, $30, something that costs $50, and something that costs $400. Well, what would happen is, instead of, if you have money in the bank that was like $405, we'll just say $390. They'll take that $390 and pay for that $400 thing instead of paying for those two items. So what they would do is that $30 item, that $40 item, they would tax you $30 a piece. So now instead of the 30, now you owe 60. And instead of denying you, they'll allow it anyways, and you still got to pay it back. So anybody that's against that, I got to ask you this simple question. When were you young and dumb? Because I was. So when y'all talk about hating individuals and everything like that, individualize what you are talking about the person. Not every bad thing. I mean, not everything that come out their mouth is bad. But y'all let other people get in your ears and stuff like that. You break it down to a one by one by one by one by one. When y'all say that Biden hasn't done anything for black people, that's an absolute lie. But he needs to put more emphasis. And for the dude who spoke about the Asian hate bill, that's not a real thing. There is nothing in that bill that says it can only protect Asian people. That's a flat out lie. I've read the bill at least 5 times. And if you decided to actually read for one time in your life, you would see that it directly affects us. But y'all get so caught up in titles, like this dummy Biden literally saying with the Asian dude. He stopped the man from shooting a semi-automatic pistol, then turned around and said, this is why we need to ban assault rifles, which is not a thing. An AR is an armor light rifle. Assault rifle is a political term created by the liberals, by the left. Y'all, let me ask y'all, which is more scarier, this or this? A logical thinking person would say this right here. The problem with that is that's only responsible for 30% to 25%, depending on which numbers you want, for the so-called mass shootings. This right here is responsible for 70 to 75% of mass shootings. They don't want you to talk about the numbers. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, the justice system, the Supreme Court, if they ever do get rid of it, is going to go up there and it's going to change the game because they're going to deny that. And then what's going to happen is California, New York, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, all of these places, bruh, y'all going to make sure for whatever reason that y'all get y'all stuff taken. They keep on touting and pointing out this BS about big pharma and all this stuff and stuff being capped and everything. The problem with it is that there are no grants for other people to compete. 51%, by the way, for the people who are talking about guns, 51% of the deaths that come by guns are through suicide. I hope y'all heard me right. 51% of the gun deaths that happen in America is suicide. The Inflation Reduction Act helping to reduce hospital costs. They never talk specifically about how, and that's where people get lost in the sauce. There was too many times where Biden had opportunistic moments to say how it happened. Nobody's going to go read through all of that. And that's one of the problems is we never hear how. When you got to the police reform and everything like that, that's something that can only be handled by y'all states, bro. Now, there are federal dollars that come through and everything like that from the feds, abso-freaking-lutely. But I'm going to be honest with you. If y'all really want real police reform, it has to come from your governor and your mayor. Y'all better realize something. The police is a union. It's all about the money with the police. Let's not sugarcoat anything. I don't care what y'all think about any president or anything like that. He can only do stuff on a federal level. Y'all real problem is y'all state government. That's the problem. And the moment that y'all actually decide to figure it out, then you can actually do something. What you're seeking for them to do, they can't even do it. Here's this stupid thing right here. No, we can't defund the police or this country would be straight up lawless. First off, that's a lie. That's a lie. You don't even know what they mean when they say defund the police. So let's have that conversation real quick. Let me school your ass so I can shut you people the fuck up. When they say defund the police, they're saying reallocate the funds. There should be no reason that the cops should go to a mental dispute. There should be no reason that when the parents are involved with a child dispute, that they should be over there doing stuff. There should be no reason that the cops should be used for a multitude of things that they ain't even responsible nor equipped for. You are wasting time. They waste the police time with so much BS, it doesn't even make sense. Go look at some of those reports. So then when actual real crime happens, like shootings and everything like that, check out the response time. Y'all send a cop when somebody stole something, when you absolutely should be sending an investigator. Why do you need to send a cop if somebody stole some money? Makes no sense. And for you dumbasses who are going to say, hey, bro, well, what about a big dude like yourself if you have a mental crisis? You don't think them hospitals don't have people like that? They're making the freaking cop do everything. There was a dude who was mental, was a whole mental patient. Literally, look at this dumbass motherfucker right here. So you want a family to handle a mentally disturbed family member swinging around a weapon? Bitch, how often does that happen? Like I just said, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You don't think they had that shit in the mental hospitals? A gun should not be involved with these people at all. They are mentally disturbed. You dumbass. Fucking big ass kid, mental patient, laying on the ground with his hands up. I mean, no. Mental patient over here playing with a train on the ground. His caretaker yelling at the police, hey, I'm his care provider, laying with his hands up on the ground saying he's no threat. And the police shot any fucking ways. The fuck are you talking about? The police shouldn't be handling every fucking thing. That's stupid. If that's the case, they get rid of the fire department too then. You people don't make no sense. You can't be pro-police and anti-police and then want the police to do every fucking thing. If you actually give a damn about the police, you shouldn't want them doing every damn thing. Why should they have to fucking settle a bunch of disputes? Y'all out your goddamn mind. This is what we do in America. This is what we do in America. We're a capitalistic society. There should be more grants created for more people to do business as far as pharmacy goes. As long as it meets certain regulations, there should be grants for that. We ain't got none of that. There should be grants given for people to start construction companies because what's going to happen in 2024, they're going to slash jobs because there's too much money infused into the economy. You're going to watch this stuff tank. Okay, don't call the police for somebody kicking your door. I promise to God, let a nigga kick in my door. I promise you, nigga, come kick in my motherfucking door. Boy, come do that. Come kick. Nigga, I got AK-47s, I got Dracos, I got Scorpions, nigga, I got AR-15s. Bitch, I will blind you before I kill your ass. Who the fuck you talking to? Talk to your mama, nigga. You come in my shit, you gonna get hit just like this. Hey, bro, what's going on? You know who I'm calling? I'm calling God for your ass. And hope you made your peace for him. Fuck you talking to, bitch. It's fuck the police. Don't call the police if something happens to you. Oh my gosh. Don't call the police. Nigga, I ain't never called them bitches. Fuck you talking to? I walk around with this bitch right here, right by my dick. Fuck you talking to? Nigga, call the police. Boy, they better call the police. I'm a goddamn tyrant. I walk around this bitch like this right here. Can't see a motherfucking thing. You think this bitch right here is my dick. Tell the police. Man, by the time the police get there, they already fucking left. Let's start the show, man. So a video was sent to me with this right here. They said no sound? They said no sound? Okay. Hold on.
He believed that Joshua said something and began moving. So he reached and punched him. He thought that there was
All right. Let me do it this way. I can get that goddamn police investigation. Here we go. Don't worry about it.
$1 million worth of gain. Yes. Yeah, man. Yes. You see it with the Prince family, man. And respect.
Here we go.
Even the police department want to get around the root of what really happened. Now, there's a law that goes on around the world where if me and you go rob a bank and, you know, police or somebody is shooting, trying to protect that bank, right? And hit some innocent person, who do you think get that charge? Person that shot that innocent person? Situation okay, that's what we're dealing with right here. I mean, this dude is the root of this shit. I mean, and from what I done read in this police report, you know, where he's, you know.
Hold on, we gonna get that right. 1936. All right. There you go.
You know, killing on everything. He can tell on jazz. And you know what I mean? And he moving on to say he was trying to be robbed. And man, don't nobody who want to rob. You know, them little dudes, the last thing they would have done was violated and tried to rob Quavo. Me and Quavo done walked in the hood of Fifth Ward, me, him, and Jazz, by ourselves in the whole hood. And when by the time we hit a few corners, we had 100+ walking with us. You know what I mean? So he know firsthand. That's like a lie to justify that dumb shit that he done.
There we go.
And you know, that's just the root of the shit, man. If I could change it, I would change it. If I was God, I would have reached and grabbed and stopped the bullet from hitting the loved one, because I love him that much. You know what I mean? But I was in a bed sleep.
Just to elaborate on that, man. I think, like I had spoke before and said, that the biggest thing is just me thinking about that whole night, that whole situation, to where, like you guys spoke on, how so many speak about the family, how one should have been controlled, why it happened, this and that and other. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're not God. You know what I'm saying? But we believe in him. We don't fear no man. You know what I'm saying? Because we follow him first and foremost, you know. And personally, I asked myself, was it anything else that could have been done to manicure that situation? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, we so used to molding and the respect, you know what I'm saying, to where we didn't have no doubt that it wasn't going to be no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't move like that. No one in association or affiliation with us move with disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So we all family. You know what I'm saying? And just to see the way that my family is being betrayed, you know what I'm saying, by someone that we care about, love also as brothers. That's the disrespect.
Shut up, bro.
That's why
So what we about to get into is when they whip out this paperwork, where basically they make the case for Migo Benz to punch his homie.
You know what I'm saying, me?
And they absolutely dislocate him in the situation.
Family. You know what I'm saying? His loved ones. We love them and respect them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, one house was took that night. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro said behind this clown, man. We don't move like that. You know what I'm saying? When we say move, we move. When one leg move that way, the other leg don't move that way. We don't have no out of bounds clown shit going on in our family. This nigga came out and he was out of line. And he stepped out of bounds, man, without permission. Quavo told me, after I told him, I said, nephew, stop talking about basketball, leave it alone. He said, Unc, you're right. Let's go.
That ain't what he said.
Do nothing on these niggas before I do something on these niggas. This dude took upon himself to go trying to violate people that didn't violate nobody. That was sitting there humble. Wasn't exchanging words, wasn't being disrespectful. He just decided he wanted to be a bully that night and prove something to someone. I don't know, probably because he's the biggest guy out there. I don't know what it was. But we started walking off. You know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody violate nobody. A man is going to defend himself. So I can't tell a man not to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even see that coming. You know, as soon as he made his move and struck an individual, I'm like, what you doing? But everything happened like that. And I didn't see no gun in his hand. Because I would have spoke on that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it until clippings after the fact that he's already standing there. So he already had his mind on something that shouldn't have been. You see what I'm saying? But it wasn't something that we could control, see coming, stop, or none of that because it wasn't one of ours. You're not of us because you was of us. It would have never happened. You stepped out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? And
if they listen to that tape real good, they can hear the little homie. They can hear the little homie saying, man, if you took that wrong, I apologize.
Didn't hear none of that.
The little homie was telling Quavo.
That never happened.
Man, I apologize if you took that wrong. I was just talking about basketball.
That never happened.
You know, how humble can you be? After apologizing like that, a nigga gonna hit him with a pistol. Hey man, you know, like I say, under no circumstances did Takeoff deserve what he got. But boy, look at here. That other clown, hey man, that's where it's at.
It's the 5 Mills President State Hall.
People keep talking about it. I'm just speaking because they keep attaching it to y'all.
Star event. This urban vet.
Keep talking about Dice Game. Represent this situation, represent this Duke the Jeweler situation. People keep speaking of that. Represent the Jeweler.
Duke the Jeweler situation. Transpired. I don't have no knowledge of it, but
things transpired. I don't have no knowledge.
Keep talking about this Dice Game type shit.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on Dice Game when it's tied to y'all?
I mean, I know people were associating me with that Duke the Jeweler situation because I went to Labusi and pool party and he happened to be there and he happened to be standing on me. I mean, right next to him. The truth is, I never met him before. I had no idea who he is. I didn't even know he was a jeweler until after his passing. And then the night of that game isn't the night that he got killed. He got killed leaving Boosie concert the next night because somebody tried to rob him. So, you know, the internet play internet games. But this is a situation with a dude that I didn't even know. I ain't know his name. I had no knowledge of him. I ain't know he was from Chicago. I ain't know he was a jeweler until social media started trying to point a finger because he was standing next to me. And it's just unfortunate that something transpired after another Dice game, but neither incidents had anything to do with a Dice game. Yeah, you know, niggas gonna gamble, man. You know what I mean? This, you know, all around the world, you know, people gamble, people do different things, man. And
$1 million in 2 lanes.
Before we were born, it's gonna be happening after we die. You know what I mean? But like, I know a little something concerning that situation too. And you know, from what I understand, it wasn't even no robbery. The man had all his jewelry on. You know what I mean? So that's some Chicago business.
If that's true, that's technically right.
I hate for people to blame shit on my niggas here in Texas, H-Town, that they ain't even got no fingerprints on none of that. You know what I mean? But they quick to try and blame it on us first, and then they'll take it everywhere else. But that shit ain't real.
What is the meaning, the definition of mob ties?
Movement of bosses together in elevated structure.
Ain't
that powerful?
I never knew. No, I never heard it that way.
Basically, our goal is say that one more time. Movement of bosses together in elevated structure.
Okay.
Sometimes all this here, you know what I mean? All these related, you know, all this here, these bosses. What is this here? That's Drake. Carl Crawford, 1501. That's Megan Boss. Mob Ties. You know, Finesse, Honeycomb, and then the one and only. I love this shit. The one and only, the motherfucker that broke the doors down. Oh, good. Absolutely, man. But it's, you know, I love that name, man, and I wanna talk about that for a minute because, you know, the enemy wanna belittle us to gain conversation and all that small shit. And that ain't what I put in him from a boy. You know what I mean? From a babe. I didn't put no all that weak shit in him.
So why you act like a spoiled daughter?
No, mine. This is something that he dreamed. You know what I mean? He been dreaming, blood, sweat, and tears went into this name, and it wasn't on no negative bullshit that they try to paint the portrait on. You know, so now you know.
You said he did apologize?
You know the meaning.
A
movement of bosses.
Nicole, screen record that and send it to me.
A movement of bosses. If you don't remember the rest, just remember a movement of bosses. And if you qualify, let's ride.
Now, you know, Jazz. How you know, Jazz not here to speak, but how did Jazz feel? You know, knowing they was coming down here for him.
Yeah. Jazz, man, was heartbroken, man, because, you know, Quavo them came down because Jazz was having a surprise Jazz Prince Day. The city of Houston was giving him his day. And Quavo and Jazz is, you know, like tight, you know, so he was coming down to support his brother and, you know, be there for him on a moment like that. So you can only imagine, you know how he feel. And the other piece was, you know, he even tried to get him to leave with him because Jazz he wasn't there when everything took place, but he was there earlier. And he,
just like you was,
Quavo to leave with him. But the homies wanted to stay and hang out, you know, which was, you know, a noble thing to do. You know, not thinking all this shit. Niggas like to party, like to have fun. So he decided to stay, but he was heartbroken by this shit, man. You know, he was heartbroken, and all the way up until this day.
The world, it's time to do some shopping. Let's all get.
Please.
Here we go.
I got the situation. How do you feel about things that were said?
Police report.
Let me see. So
Read some of the things so that people don't think I'm making up.
Here we go.
Willie Bland,
So Willie Bland,
who admitted to firing a weapon at the scene. He stated that he's seen the two males he had identified as Joshua and Watkins throughout the evening, that he had seen them with guns. He believed that Joshua said something and began pulling the gun, so he reached and punched him. He thought that males were about to try and rob Quavo. Now, we can just stop right there. And let me just explain that little piece how I feel about that bullshit.
How you feel about it?
Clearly, this Bland dude that gave a police report that he seen these two guys with guns earlier. But these the same two guys that he decided he was gonna punch with his gun out and hit them with a gun. What do you think gonna happen? You know what I mean?
So he pistol with them?
These niggas with guns and you gonna hit them? You know, these people, these same guys that he talking about, man, if any enemy would have came their direction, they'd have had some problems. But as you can see, this clown saw that and decided, I'm gonna try them two guns with my one. And
so you basically admitting they had guns?
But they getting ready to rob Quavo. And Lord knows if anybody, any of them people would have tried to rob or touch Quavo, it was gonna be some real problems.
So what happened actually happened?
You want me to finish, Reed?
Yeah, might as well. Let's let them know how. This dude, here's what he doing, Gilly. This dude right here is running back in Atlanta, getting on the real niggas. So we have to get him $1 million worth of game. Let him know. Now this is what he doing out here in Houston. Now if he running up under y'all, and you embrace him, that's on y'all. But I can't hide it from him. I want him to know. Yeah, and I know y'all them kind of people. So let them know.
He believed it was probably Cameron Joshua shooting at him. So he began shooting at Cameron Joshua. Video showed that Joshua ran back inside the bowling alley, but there is no video evidence showing him firing a gun.
Now just this little piece of who he's saying, this is when he put my son's name in his mouth.
From right here, a large black male with the victim's group later identified as Willie Bland is seen either striking or...
No. Let's go to Paul where he say who gave him a gun and all that kind of stuff.
Willie Bland further stated he initially obtained the gun that he discharged from Jazz Prince, who was hosting the group, including Willie Takeoff and Quavo.
And that's why Jazz ain't there.
Willie stated that he had asked Jazz for a gun and Jazz provided him with one that was in the truck.
Now listen at that. Now, Quavo, as I stated, is Jazz's brother. So of course, Jazz don't mind making sure, the homie got some heat because we understand that.
But he didn't give it to the homie.
But now you got this clown, I don't know how it ended up in his hand, but it ended up in his hand.
He just told
this
you.
Clown is saying somebody want to rob him that gave him a gun. Why would you give a man a gun and try to rob him? You know what I mean? This shit just don't add up.
That's not what he said. He didn't say Jazz trying to rob him.
And I'm just trying to get people to realize how big a damn fool this dude here is, and now he ratting all over the place. And ran back, bus shots and ran to the airport and ran his ass back immediately. You know what I mean? He didn't care nothing about the homie Takeoff. As soon as he done that, he went straight to the airport.
Word.
And tore ass home.
Word.
I'm gonna leave you with all this paperwork, and you can look at it later on.
Don't leave me with this shit. I'll leave you with all that on this rat shit.
Y'all going to Atlanta, right? Yeah. But that's what I love about $1 Million Worth of Game because, you know what I mean? We
Shut up. Shut up. Shut the hell up. So there y'all go. Y'all just heard this dude say basically that Jazz ain't there because in the paperwork he's accused of giving a gun away to somebody who you didn't even know if they had felonies or not. Cool. But then why did you say gave it to his brother? Quavo never asked for the gun. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Let's play hypotheticals. If I'm running with my homies and everything like that, and we got an artist around us, and they got a homie, I'm not giving that homie no gun. I don't know you, nigga. Why would I give you a gun? Now, if he would have said, oh, you know, Quavo gave me the gun, that's different. If my man was real smart and everything like that, let me tell y'all how the protocol go. If I want to bring my gun legally across the states, I can transfer it myself by driving, or I can put it on a plane and send it in the plane. And the plane will absolutely check it. They'll check it. They'll pop this shit. They'll pull it back, make sure nothing is in there, and they'll put the shit in the plane for me. All this stuff dismantled and everything like that. You carry a little brown box. I don't have one that's around me. It's in my closet space. But that's what the fuck they do. He asked for a gun, he provided it. If it's legal. Well, yeah, I'm only talking legal. Come on, bro. Are you that fucking dumb in real life? Bro, are you fucking dumb? Was that needed to be said? If it's legal. Yeah, that's the assumption. Jeez, these niggas is slow. God damn. If it's legal, absolutely. Duh. But $1 million and 2 lames failed to question them this. Hey, I gotta ask you a question, man. From me to you. If a kid is shot, do we blame the shooter or do we blame the person who sold them the gun? Let me take it a step further. Let's say 2 guys are fighting and a guy pulls out a gun and shoots the gun and hits an innocent girl. Do we blame the person who punched the other person or do we blame the shooter? In both instances, if you did not respond shooter, you are a fucking idiot. See, it's amazing how your man's decided that he said he gave him the same scenario, and how did he answer? Happens all the time in the community. But we don't blame the fighter, we blame the shooter. We always blame the shooter. We never not blame the shooter. And that's the difference. Where my man's at? We gonna show this. I gotta find that goddamn video. Because that video gonna throw off a lot of people when I show y'all this video. Because I was of a theory, and then I seen a video, and I ain't know that theory anymore. Kind of wild, but either way it go. We're not blaming the shooter anymore. Look at how these niggas try to control the narrative about robbing the bank and the police shoot someone accidentally. That's completely different. That's the police. They are trained professionals. And police get fired all the time for this shit. And police departments get sued for that. And then it's on the police department to sue the individual that they were shooting at. Hence why you have laws that say if I go in and I rob a bank with my homie and my homie actually gets shot and he dies, do you know that I will be charged for murder and not the person who shot and killed my friend? Because I was a part of that. And that's what he's trying to allude to. The problem with it is DJ Pat's life was never in danger. See, when you're in danger, you can make a case. But you still will be sued. If I'm in danger, but they were never in danger as far as DJ Pat goes. You wasn't there. You're right. You're 100% right. I wasn't there. 100% right. I was not there. But I read the indictment. And they were allowed to send that indictment to a circuit judge that allowed them to go ahead and search this man's vehicle and allowed them to arrest who they thought was the killer of this person. So, yeah, I wasn't there, but neither was the police. But get your bitch ass off my motherfucking channel. We ain't got to see that shit. These niggas is weird as hell. You wasn't there, you didn't see it. Damn. You're right. But you didn't see people motherfucking print out your check. You didn't see the bitch hit send for your check to route through all your shit, but you trust that shit though. But you weren't there. The fuck? Bro, don't go to your bathroom sink or your kitchen sink and grab everything around there and start smoking it up. Please don't do that. So it's weird how they're trying to defend Patrick Clark in this situation. But I understand it because they had to shout back to the troops. We still got you even when you in the wrong. Patrick Clark was in the wrong. Then he said, if anything were to happen to Quavo, something would happen. He said that in the goddamn interview, which means that Patrick Clark was trained, hey, start bucking if it start getting ugly for them cats. And then, Mike Prince, you so damn dumb. Why would you allow your crew to leave when somebody just said, man, I'm going to hurt somebody? Why would you allow somebody to leave? I don't understand that. How do you do that part? Man, we wouldn't have been afraid of none of that crap. I'm going to keep it authentic. None of that BS. We ain't doing none of that. Hold on, I'm going to find this BS real quick. Because there's a video that I need to find to load up for the next doggone topic. Because too many people ran with some BS, got mad at me, and then turned around and then sounded even more dumber. They never said that. They never said that. Now that part, you can tell that video was doctored and messed with and everything like that. So I ain't gonna say, that no one stayed with him because you can see this nigga Quavo fall out and pass out all on the ground and everything like that. Worse than Quando Rondo, and that's not dissing. NBA will not stop the game to honor LeBron James' record-breaking basket. The game is under 1 minute or within 6 points. Oh. All right. I don't care. Let me see. Try to find this shit. But yeah, bro, we're not finna sit up here and play these BS games that you cats be trying to do, bro. And I don't even understand why it is that y'all so quick to forgive these weirdos any doggone ways, because it doesn't make sense. The problem with all of these cats that's talking all this shit and everything about mob ties is that we just gonna keep it real. One of the worst parts about this stuff is we actually expected and expect older people like these two right here to be able to use your experience to control the situation. but y'all failed. And it seems as though, even though y'all failed, y'all can't acknowledge the failure of what happened. And that's the worst part about everything. Y'all look dumb as hell. Y'all look like y'all can't help nobody, let alone help your goddamn self. In times where people need peace, we're supposed to depend on the elders. And you got these two dudes dressed like they some 18-year-old doggone rappers. So when y'all talk about movements of bosses, what about your employees? Your employees seem dumb as hell. You're only a boss if you got employees, but you're only going to go as far as your employees take you. I don't care how it is that these cats seem to be thugs or gangsters or they're respected and everything. There is nothing to respect about how they handled this situation. Not a thing. Because it's disrespectful to the family. How would they feel if roles were reversed? How would they feel if literally somebody smoked one of their goddamn kids? If one of the damn Prince sons was smoked and next thing you know, it was out of state and the person who was around him and everything like that made a statement before he did. Y'all would think it's disrespect. And this is why everybody's pissed off. Were they in the wrong? These three jackasses? No. Ain't nobody said mob ties had this man killed like that. What we saying is, where's the compassion? Where's the respect? Where's the undeniable, refutable questions going to come from the family about whatever the fuck happened? And will you answer them? You just DM me? All right. I don't see nothing, Shotty. You just capped to me? You just capped? I just got lied to? I don't see it, but I'll check. So I'm gonna look for it real quick. Yeah, bro, it's like they wrong and don't want to admit, like, because part of it is if you do admit to any wrong that happened, technically, yeah, you can be sued because that's an admission of guilt. But at least let their family speak before you weird ass niggas do. Hold on. Cause this shit threw me all the way off. Cause I seen a video today of P and this nigga Offset walking with each other after the alleged fight. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, here we go. Right here. So that was all Quavo. That was all Quavo. I thought for a moment, hey, bro, man, QC basically had control over that, and then P and goddamn Offset got into a fight. Nah, that nigga say he mugged me the whole time. Let's run that. Run it back. Listen to what he said. He mugged me down on the red carpet with his mama. Or with my baby mama, the nigga said it so quick. But if it was really a scuffle between them two, how the hell I allow you to put your hand on my neck? I'd knock that bitch down. Yeah, I don't believe that no more. I believe that at first too. If you go to my video, I say, man, what if it was QC and them niggas trying to stop this man Offset from going up on there? But after seeing that video and him literally saying he mugged me down the red carpet, that means tension. He didn't say you mugged me down. He said he mugged me down. So the person that we thought did anything actually didn't do anything, because they wouldn't have been able to put his hands on him unless the nigga was scared like that. Man, AK said it was P shit. So weird. So weird. You niggas are so weird. Y'all insults are so sexual. I don't understand. I'm into women. 100% women. What you weird ass niggas, bro? Y'all niggas is freaky as hell. But want everybody to know that he got a problem with us. I'm telling you, bro. But who told AK? I know who told AK, what they told him and everything like that. But like I said in my BQC, but I'm starting to not believe that. See, once other facts come out and everything like that, we can correct it. So once the nigga said what he said, bro, that's it. I no longer believe that it was QCP or QC's P, however which y'all want to say it. I don't believe that no more. I truly believe Quavo and Offset fought. Because the way he walking away, bruh, this nigga got a whole lawsuit against you. Now, once again, Takeoff, Quavo, was not cool with Offset anyways when the man died. So, hey, it is what it is. But it looked real bad. It looked real freaking bad. That nigga came back. Yeah, we finna. They said that them cats is usually right. And you're right on that. This nigga created another profile just to come back and troll me. I'm actually impressed. I'll be real. I'm actually impressed. But I got something for you. You. Wow, 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 wow. And just like that, we get rid of you. Subscribers only mode. Welcome. And in order to participate in things that we are doing today, you have to be a subscriber. So now, bro, after that video and everything like that, bro, I'm really believing more and more that them cats had a fist fight, got separated. Cardi B pissed off. P went ahead and got in front of dude, and then the rest of the team pushed Quavo towards the goddamn stage. Now, I'm going to be honest. I done seen both them cats fight. They ain't got no hands. They ain't got no hands. But for those who actually do got hands, wouldn't have been doing none of that. And then it's kind of weird because, bro, how in the world, how can you let this man who's stopping you from making your money even talk to you? That's one of the bigger things. How scary is Pete, bro? Because you let this man put his hands on your neck like a 5-year-old. Look at this. Hold on. That's my shit. Hold on. Pussy, money, weed. 3 things I ain't getting right now. Oh, me now, red carpet. I ain't got no money. I ain't getting no pussy. And I damn sure don't smoke no weed. So it is what it is. I'm a born again virgin. Born again. But either way it is, man, we ain't finna sit up here and play those games, those BS games. If people believe something different, let them believe something different. And that ain't no diss to my bro, nigga. I was one of the first ones to believe that shit too. And the man had a real artist who said he's 99.9% sure that QC's P was the one that was fighting with Offset. But after seeing that video, I just don't see how. Yeah, that was somebody else's. I fucked that one up. But he was still in front of him to where he could have just hit him real quick. I just said that wasn't his arm. I corrected it. Goddamn. Jeez. But he was right there. Did you do the beat on your intro? Man, hell no. If I was dope enough to do beats, I wouldn't rap. I wouldn't be doing none of this stuff. I'll be making beats right now. I wish, bro. I ain't that talented. I appreciate it. But nah, not setting names. I was a deflection, bro. Nah, I'm sorry. Ain't no man finna whoop my ass and then walk in front of me so I can get a clear shot on him. That just ain't gonna happen, bro. That don't even happen in jail. You ain't watching Brian. Brian ain't watching me. What you mean? I ain't watching LeBron. LeBron ain't watching me, bro. LeBron should have took the night off and hey, Sadie Nash finna go live. But let's see. Let's see how many points this nigga LeBron got. I know LeBron going off right now. Nigga got 20 points. Second quarter. He'll beat that record tonight. He'll beat it. Do you believe that Prince family is snitching on MDWG? What the fuck is MDWG? The fuck does that even mean? What is MDWG? They doing Offset bad. I'm gonna be honest, nigga, Quavo looked the worst. Quavo looked the worst. Quavo looked worse than anybody. Just think about it this way. Bruh, we sat here, lost somebody. You still messing with these niggas who stopping my money. What's wrong with you? You can't even talk to these cats? Bro, I can't even stand there as you give tribute to our fallen family member? Come on, man. There's a bunch of family members that I don't like that are related to me by blood. From knee high on up, that I ain't cool with. But I don't give a fuck who died in my family. I'm not gonna stop them bitch ass niggas from coming to the goddamn funeral. I'm not even going, I'll even fake the static real quick to even do a fucking picture and act like shit is cool. But after we done, it's fuck you. I see you in death, nigga. I said wasn't on stage with Quavo. Absolutely. They trying to put, nah, they did. But then they said it had to be some Chicago niggas. If what they saying is true, that this nigga, if what they were saying was true, that basically Cuz got hurt and got murked and none of his jewelry was taken, that ain't how Houston niggas get down at all. Houston niggas scam the shit out of people all the time, rob niggas all the time. That ain't a Houston nigga at all. That's personal. Facts. Quavo has no loyalty to nobody but himself. Absolutely. Nigga, I've been scammed by a Houston nigga. I ain't gonna hold you. $300 for a fake iMac. I'll never forget it because the setup just was too dope. I'm like, damn. I opened that motherfucking, bro. It was hollow as shit with bullshit in it. But I knew I got scammed as soon as I gave the nigga the money and he got in the car. Because the nigga smashed on the gas. True story. Nigga, I swear to God. That really happened, nigga. Nigga pulled up, knocked on my shit. Hey, bro, you trying to get a laptop? You know, the hurricane knocked over this and knocked over that shit and everything like that. I'm like, let me check it out. I didn't fully check it out. I popped the box open. The fucking cover looked good and shit like that and everything. So I'm like, ooh, all right, cool. A nigga tried to charge me $400 for it. I said, man, hell no, I give you $2. This shit's still hot. They can still shut this shit down. So we agreed to $300. Gave the nigga the $300. Soon as that nigga hopped in his car, I said, oh, this nigga got me. I said, oh, this nigga got me. Happened in Houston. It is what it is. I know this. I ain't bought a fucking laptop from nobody else except out the store. Shit, nigga, I got scammed on the goddamn charger from niggas in St. Louis. Niggas know how to scam. If you're a good scammer, you know how to scam. Just gonna keep it authentic with you. I wasn't mad about it. Highly disappointed in myself. But shit, that happened. Shout out Houston. It's all love. So, I mean, end of the day, could they have faked it and everything like that just for this nigga? Yeah. But I still believe that all them niggas secretly had something to do with this nigga Offset not going up there with Quavo. Because once you get on big stages like that, your whole entire catalog goes up. It's like the Super Bowl. Once the Super Bowl happens, you know what happens to the other people? The people who all perform and everything like that, bro. Man, all their catalog goes up. Their streaming goes up. It goes up by millions and millions of plays. So it is what it is, but it's unfortunate. It had one song is 840% after that. What song you talking about? I obviously missed it. Yeah, Shawty said she sent me something as far as an apology go, but I ain't see it. This nigga really, Clay D. I'm gonna let you troll, man. Do your thing, man. You really sat there 5 minutes to talk shit. I check your request. Shawty, I don't see it. I don't want none of these niggas stalking you either. Did you put it SETI Nash one word? Guaranteed you probably didn't. I ain't seeing nothing. SETI Nash one word. Not SETI underscore Nash. That's not me. That's a fake one. That's a fake ass one. Yeah, it ain't up there. It ain't in there. This XX Tentacion shit, man. Do y'all want me to cover this shit? Cause them niggas is crazy. They try to say so many people had something to do with this shit, bro. If I was Drake, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was Drake, I would keep on making music and just dropping albums and dropping albums and dropping albums or dropping singles or something. That nigga got to come out with a new single soon because it looked bad. Not saying that this nigga had anything to do with it or anything like that. I doubt it. Because you wouldn't want to kill a nigga. You for sure want him to get beat up. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he had something to do with Cuz getting punched out on stage in San Diego. Like, that part. Look at the Sicko Mode video. I'm not finna do all that. I ain't doing all that. That ain't necessary. I don't even like Travis Scott. I'm gonna keep it authentic. After what he said about what's little buddy name? Damn, I forget. I think it was Trayvon Martin. I'm cool. I'm good on that. At certain instances, I get where you want to hold your nuts and go, this is how I feel and everything like that. And you may disagree with a majority of Black people and stuff like that. There's stuff that I disagree with a majority of Black people. But I'm going to keep it authentic. I don't really care. Eric Hunter, what's going on with it? Motherfuckers will say it's a meal on the Prince family. Man, yeah, right. Niggas ain't trying to do nothing to the Prince family. Yeah, they knocked his ass out. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga was gone. A nigga hit me like that. I'm driving my car through everywhere. You did keep the comments going, man. Just, hey, all I ask is you don't spam. Like, all your insults, just make them new insults. That's all I ask. If you're going to insult me, just make new insults. That's all I ask. Now, if you say the same thing, then, yeah, I don't want you on here. Think about if you truly dedicate 20 years to computer programming, you could pull heat from an ice cube. Fuck you talking about? You worse than when fucking that nigga Biden said that dumbass shit like, hey, why are you guys not investing into the oil infrastructure? Because the goddamn infrastructure is going to die in 10 years. So we got to milk this shit, dumbass nigga. We know y'all trying to make us obsolete. Like that was one of the dumbest things this nigga said. Bro, it ain't about the American people. We are a capitalistic society. If I could sell my toenails, I would. And not give two fucks about it. Who thought anything? Niggas would be looking at me all type of crap. Yo, Sadie Nash, you hella fucking odd, bro. You super weird. Yeah, nigga, but my toenails is going for 10 a piece, nigga. It is what it is. Why in the hell would the oil companies want to help the American people when y'all actively trying to get rid of them? If anything, all we have to do is reduce how much we use oil, and that should work in unison. You niggas is dumb as hell. And all this trying to convert to energy and shit, bro, I'm from California. Nigga, we done had blackouts, my nigga. We done had power grids blow. What the hell? Californians and shut the pipe down and shut down the pipeline. First off, here you go with some more bullshit. They were supposed to shut down that fucking pipeline. Why didn't the white people allow the pipeline to go through Bismarck? But y'all can take that shit through a fucking Indian reservation. Huh? Yeah, y'all better go look at that fucking Dakota pipeline access stuff. It was supposed to go through a majority white town, and then the motherfuckers complained about it. So then they try to put it through Ocheti Sakwa, nigga. And y'all go with more bullshit. Have you white motherfuckers not fucked over the Native Americans enough? The motherfucking military, the National Guard, burned down their only bridge. And then blame them motherfuckers for it. And then turned around and used water hoses on these people in fucking 10-degree weather, giving them hypothermia, all for land that stairs. So while y'all say all that weak ass shit, bro, let me tell y'all, shut up. Go look the shit up. That Dakota pipeline was supposed to go through Bismarck at first. But they said, damn, what happens if an oil spill happens? You fucking people make me sick as shit. Because y'all talk points that y'all know nothing the fuck about. And before anybody say anything slick, nigga, I was there. And let me make sure I get this shit right. I could have sworn, nigga, that pipeline busting that motherfucker too. Yeah, that Standing Rock shit where it was at was Ocheti Sakwa. I can't make this shit up. Watch this shit. Hold on. I could have sworn that bitch burst too. But I will say this, it was a lot of white motherfuckers. Here we go. Pipeline rupture spews oil into creek 150 miles from Standing Rock, North Dakota, 2016. So right by that motherfucker, everybody's worst fears already happened. A fucking pipeline burst. The same fears that the white motherfuckers had in Bismarck is the same fears that the Native Americans had in Standing Rock in Ocheti Sakwa. So shut the fuck up. Oh, they stopped the pipeline. They stopped the pipeline. Yeah, y'all stopped it first. Run tell that. Run tell that shit. They won't. They don't. Because you motherfuckers is quick to play victim and blame the motherfuckers without ever understanding what the hell is actually going on. You white people, LMAO, you better ask those people in that town. I don't give a fuck about them either. Bitch, I wasn't even talking to you. Now that you've been educated, stop regurgitating that bullshit. Because it don't fly over here. Not about to sit up here and let y'all say the BS and everything like that. Now, typically me, as far as it goes for political stuff, I typically go more towards Republican shit. Typically. Come to gun rights and shit like that and everything like that. Abso-freaking-lutely. But when it comes to taxing the rich, the problem is that none of these niggas ever come up with the plan to incentivize the goddamn companies to sit up there and hire more Americans. When this nigga just lied and talked about the federal shit not paying in federal tax dollars, that's a fucking lie. That's a lie they keep on saying. They pay a lot in different shit. They pay in fees that they had to use certain things and everything like that. All the fees that they had to pay. And I'm not saying that the goddamn rich shouldn't be taxed more, because they absolutely should. Because this motherfucker, goddamn Biden and everything like that, I mean, not Biden, but Trump took the federal tax federal tax rate from 37% to 21%. So who the fuck was going to make up that goddamn percentage? He goes, I'm not talking to you. Who you talking to? You said you white people. White people and I'm Irish. Then you're not white, bitch. Well, get your bitch ass up out of here. I'm talking to you now, but you can't talk to me no more. Peace. Motherfucker ain't gonna talk about how y'all gonna fuck over these goddamn companies and start booting out these CEOs and arresting these motherfuckers for hiring these illegal immigrants from coming in here and taking all these goddamn jobs. How when y'all had ICE running through the South and getting rid of the illegal immigrants from the goddamn chicken coops and everything like that, from all these motherfuckers. Y'all don't go fight for the fucking modern white man. That's a motherfucking lie. Y'all don't give a fuck about them. Why is it that once ICE went and hit Mississippi and Alabama and started raiding those chicken farms, why is it that none of the higher-ups went to jail? Why is it none of the owners went to jail? I gotta ask the people that. Why isn't it that y'all don't ask for better wages? Everybody in the South who's from Mississippi and who's from Alabama knows that church, college, and chicken makes the most money in y'all states. But nobody ever say shit about that. I wonder why. And especially in Alabama. These is billion-dollar industries, especially the chicken industry in the South is billions. But y'all won't fight for y'all fucking right to get paid? But inflation keeps on going up and y'all keep saying dumbass shit like we don't need the government to step in. Yes, the fuck you do. This is when the government is supposed to step in because y'all actively getting fucked. This is when y'all supposed to get y'all minimum wage raised because the cost of everything around you has risen. Only thing that ain't raised is your goddamn pay. This is when government's supposed to step in. But niggas don't want to talk about that. They done convince everybody in the South that you have independence without government anything. That's why y'all had some of the worst fucking roads. If you don't believe me, ride through Louisiana a couple of times. Just go across the 20 and shit. When your ass go from goddamn Shreveport to Rushdown and see how many, I mean, not Rushdown, but fucking Monroe. From Shreveport to Monroe, how many fucking potholes you gonna hit? It's crazy. And don't get me started on New Orleans. God damn. Those are jobs right there. That's stability right there. But what they try to do is pawn it off to smaller companies that ain't doing shit. But maybe I'm just spitting too real for some of you niggas. Possibly. But I'll tell you one thing. By God, here tonight, I ain't tell one goddamn lie. Don't start on the I-10, bruh. Yeah. But more people travel that goddamn 20 because a lot of people leave from places like Dallas to go to goddamn Atlanta. Because you're going to go to Nashville, you could just take the 30 to Texarkana and hit Little Rock and Memphis. Even Memphis got some fucked up ass streets. Even Memphis terrible. I'm from San Fran. A sack will tear a new hole in your ride. I'm not saying it don't. I can promise you, as a person who has driven in every single state in the surrounding 48, I have driven in every single state in the surrounding 48. I know what the roads look like. I'm speaking from riding through these goddamn things. I ain't talking from a place of shit. But I can tell you those California highways, the California highways are better than majority of these motherfuckers that's running through this shit. Now, if you talk and you say, well, what about the 99? That's not a federal highway. That's a state highway. Tacoma, Washington has the worst streets I've driven, just raggedy. I can't speak on Tacoma like that. I just been on the freeways through that shit. Private roads with 3-foot sinkholes. Exactly. Dallas roads used to be horrible. Shit, they still horrible. I just left that motherfucker last weekend. Technically this weekend. When did I leave Dallas? I left Dallas Sunday night. Yeah. PA has worst of all. I don't know, bro. I don't know, thug. That part I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because shit, Atlanta is ranked the worst city in America with potholes. And after riding through that motherfucker and me living there, it's hard to dispute that because I thought it was New York. I thought it was places like the goddamn Bronx and goddamn New York City and all these other places and all that, Brooklyn and all these. But bruh, Atlanta is horrible. New Orleans got the new title. If they actually did, it would not surprise me. That shit in New Orleans is definitely, but I don't know because New Orleans and Shreveport kind of remind me of the same as far as those streets go with the bullshit that they got going. It's just that Shreveport ain't as big. Hey, check it out, TV. Stop spamming my chat before you get your ass blocked. Don't spam my goddamn chat. But either way that go, man. The Prince family basically dissed Lil Cam a little bit because y'all admitted that this man had guns. Y'all didn't say this nigga didn't have no guns. Y'all said, so what? Nigga, what? I ain't spamming. Now your ass is blocked. Who the fuck you talking to like that? Fuck about my shit. When you double up and you put the same fucking comment twice in my shit, nigga, that's spamming. So get your ass the fuck up out of here. I ain't spamming. Bitch, you don't know what spamming is then. Y'all niggas is wild. I'm not spamming. Why the hell are you writing the same thing? Anyways, back to it. They basically dissed Lil Cam, bro. We gonna keep it authentic. They basically dissed him because they didn't say he didn't have a gun at all. They said, well, if he had a gun, why would you hit this man? And you know what happens when you hit somebody. So essentially, y'all just confirmed that this nigga had a gun. And y'all saying that this man punching somebody precipitated the shooting. And they're talking about it's a form of respect. What the hell? What do you mean it's a form of respect? Yo, people was walking behind my guy after this nigga said he was gonna hurt y'all. He supposed to be TTG. Unfortunately, yo, people was TTB and fucked around and killed the wrong person. So I'm curious, bro. I think we will see that video. I'm gonna keep it authentic. I think we will see that video. LeBron needs 6 more points. Oh, I will play it in the background because they can't do nothing about me playing the shit in the background. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, they can't shut me down. Let me see. This nigga said live reaction now. I don't think this is the actual game. Yeah, I don't care to see your goddamn face. They smart though, because they're not showing the actual game. So I think he's playing the audio. Hold on. But he got a low. Either way it go, we'll see. We'll see it when it pop up. We will see it when it pop up. That's one thing I will give the Hispanic community. These niggas love the Lakers. Like, man, listen, the essays, them niggas love the gap, man, bro. I'm trying to tell you. These, man, listen, majority of my Mexican homies, them niggas love the Lakers. I don't know why, but it is what it is. What y'all think? What y'all think about my background? I'm a Lakers fan. Yo, bro, shoot me your digits. I don't know you, nigga. And I ain't got shit to do with the Bay. Shout out to the Bay, but I don't play their politics like that. Whatever you need to learn about the Bay, shit, go hit up somebody from the Bay. I don't know you, kid. Anybody ever got my number, they got it from somebody I know and trust. So if you don't know nobody I know and trust, What the fuck? You ain't got no profile picture, no nothing, no anything like that. Yo, my last name is Nash. And like, what the fuck? That's what be killing me with y'all. No disrespect, but nigga, I could be awkward as hell. What if I start sending you dictures? What if I start blowing your shit up and sending you weird ass shit? I'm just asking. You don't know me like that, kid? Nah, ain't no pause. Fuck that, nigga. Y'all niggas don't know me, kid. Dead ass. They over there like this nigga Kareem about to get mad. Fuck Kareem. You been hating on this nigga LeBron forever. This nigga. What the fuck? And Jordan hate on LeBron. I don't really think so. I think I'm gonna keep it authentic. I think this nigga Jordan kind of show a little bit of love. I think he showed a little love because he literally say, you can't say there's a greatest of all time. You see what I'm saying? That nigga always say that. You can't fucking say that, bruh, there's a greatest of all time type of thing. Now, I believe Jordan is the greatest. I'm going to keep it authentic. I believe Jordan is the greatest, but I also believe LeBron is the greatest as far as durability goes. But y'all got to remember, LeBron been playing since 18. Jordan entered the league at what, 21? He said, Kingdom going to King's Castle to get the ring, Super Mario. LeBron actually said that he was the greatest player ever. And he said that from beating the Warriors and stuff like that. So take that as you will, but and he retired and came back. Very true. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This nigga LeBron is one of the greatest ever, if not the second greatest. Y'all gonna miss this nigga when he gone, man. Like I'm gonna miss Tom Brady. I'm gonna keep it authentic. I said Jordan said what he said. Jordan said you can't say anybody's the greatest because they play in different eras. Like everything is different. So, bro, I'm not gonna sit up there and then try to act like everything ain't everything. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. We're not doing none of that BS, bro. I'm gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but. Jordan earned his rings single-handedly. He didn't have to go to 5 different teams and build a bunch of teams to get them. All right, that's cool. You can get mad at the way he did it. That's cool, but you still got to be the best person on those teams. So I think y'all got to say that part when y'all do that. Like when y'all say everything y'all saying, at least keep it authentic and say, well, he was always the best person on the team. You see what I'm saying? He was always the best person on the freaking team. So just remember that. Just remember that part. Did you cover the Tyree Nichols? Nah, I know that. I think it's like 6 more officers are about to get freaking indicted because they didn't do anything. But I'm gonna keep it authentic with y'all, bro. Like on the real. It's only gonna matter if they state do something. I don't even think their governor said anything. I don't believe their governor said a fucking thing about this shit. So that's the one thing that be throwing me all the way off. But I'll cover the XXX Tentacion shit and everything like that, and I'll watch everything that's going on. Unfortunately, I got another funeral I got to go to. It just fucking sucks, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. It's sad though that the youngin couldn't enjoy his life. It's super sad because they stopping the game. Oh, Brown got the most points and is a pass first player as well. I think the nigga's an all-around player. I think he's like the best all-around player ever, personally. the man is his genius said what he do, bro. Let's just keep that authentic. Like all the LeBron hate, I get it because people want to save the legacy of their favorite player. So I'm not in a mindset to sit up here and bash people because of their beliefs and all that stuff. Nah. I ain't finna bash nobody on their belief. Like, nah, that don't happen, bro. Yeah, I've been hitting a lot of freaking funerals as of late. But every year I done lost somebody close, so it is what it is. Nigga done lost a grandma. After that, I lost an uncle. Then lost an older cousin that basically was my big brother. And then lost a homie that was like my brother. So, death is always prevalent. It's always here. It's always near. That's the worst part about it, is that no matter what we do, we can't do anything. So it is what it is. He did it. There's no doubt that this nigga was going to fucking pass the record up. There's no doubt in that one. No doubt in that one, bro. Zero doubt in that one. That he was going to pass it. Who's crying? LeBron's crying? LeBron's crying? Wow. Wow. Hey, it is what it is. He's crying. I mean, let's be honest. To break a record that only one other person has done, let's keep it authentic. Prayers. They found him. Thankfully, they found him. Here we go right here. Here we go. He got fouled. That sucks. Bro, that's in the third quarter. Come on, man. But you know what? I'm kind of glad he's doing it with the number 6 jersey on instead of. Wow. I'll run it back. We'll run it back one more time. I can say this, though. I don't think nobody going to beat that record. Big body, fade away. Oh, they say he got fouled on? That wasn't no damn foul. What the hell? That wasn't no foul, bro. They playing Drake. I want this shit forever, man. Oh yeah. I'm shutting shit down at the mall. Every girl thinks she's the one for me. I don't even know if that's how it go. I want this shit forever, man, ever, man. No, what he said? I'm telling every chick she the one for me. Yeah. Robbie butchering the hell out of songs. And I don't be doing it on purpose. All right. I think it'd be all right if we play it like, here we go. All I gotta do is keep talking. Boom. All right. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, but I'm not about to speak on Bay Area shit like that I don't know nothing about, bro. I only know a little bit about the Bay. Like, that's disrespectful to the Bay. Now, I will say, I go party in Oakland. I don't party in Sacramento like that because there ain't really shit to do in Sac like that. And where your daughter and your wife at? Y'all niggas got still a hope. The King's belly? No, they ain't. Shit. You must not know how them California politicians rock. Anyways, man, we got a 3-hour live. I'm about to end this, man. Check out American Alpha Male, bro. I did a fire ass video. If y'all could drop that link, somebody drop that link in the comments for me. Bruh. That video I did today, sheesh. That video I did today, the 5 reasons why women don't respect you. Oh my God. And I'm going to keep it real. That's not a pro-black, pro-white, pro-anything type of channel. I keep that shit, no race in there or anything like that. We don't discuss politics. We don't discuss none of that shit. Just straight up heterosexual men. That's it. Trying to figure out how the fuck we can get our women back in rules in life to live by. Because I will tell you like this. I ain't fucking no ugly bitches and you shouldn't either. We gone.